K-Man don't know shit.
Friends, finally back. Had a little delay there. Had some Wi-Fi problems and whatever. Anyway, I'm super happy to be back. And today on episode 24, my dear friend, Mr. Bloodshot Bill, the one, the only. We go back a long ways, and after being holed up basically alone for a little while, it was great to just hang out and, ask all the questions, out of curiosity that I always want to know about my friend and, their musical journey and that kind of thing. Just absolutely amazing. What a great vibe. Before we start, don't forget, there's a link to a virtual tip jar underneath the video. That's the Be a Producer program. If you want to donate anything, 25 cents, $1, $10, whatever you want, you can do it through the PayPal virtual tip jar. And you will be credited as the producer of the next episode. And that's how we're kind of doing this. And man, well, don't forget to stroke the subscribe button, and let's do it. Get to hang out with Bloodshot.
K-Man don't know shit.
Bloodshot Bill, what the fuck, man? It's been a long time.
I know, and happy birthday.
Oh, thank you, brother. Yeah, man.
It's an honor to be doing a thing with you on your birthday.
Man, these days it's pretty much all we can do, right?
Yeah.
Aw, sweetheart. It's funny. I don't know if I was at your first show ever or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure it was close to the first one. I remember drinking a box of beer in the park across the street from Jailhouse, across the street from Saint Laurent Street, because you wanted to get as drunk as possible that night before you went on stage.
Probably.
Yeah, that sounds about right back in those days, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. That's all we were doing was let's have a party. Let's get as drunk as we can. Whatever. You're a young kid.
Well, exactly. And man, you've come a hell of a long way since then.
Yeah, we're still alive. It's your birthday.
It's crazy. It's crazy. What a journey, When I'm talking about the Jailhouse, I'm talking about the Jailhouse for a reason also, because I find it's a good timing because the Jailhouse book just came out and you're one of the first people I ever saw play there.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah. Because I remember you played on the terrace in front of the bar. At that point,
right.
I don't think they let you in the bar. They made you play in front of the bar,
Yeah, I was too young. I worked my way up to coat check.
That's it.
Play on the terrace, coat check, and then I get to play shows.
Yeah, man. But those were some memorable nights, though. I mean, even if they're blurry, they were memorable.
Sure. Yeah, looking at that book that Don put out, it's like, bang, I remember that. Bang, I remember that. Bang. It's like, wow. There was a lot of great times there.
Man, it was pretty crazy. It was good to see Don the other day. I like the way he's doing it, going from different place to different place, and every place has a group of people buying this book, and everybody has the same reaction. The memory floods. I mean,
I met him. I met him in front of the old Jailhouse to pick up.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Nice. What is it called now?
Sorry.
Like where Jailhouse was on Mount Royal there. What's it called now? Do you know?
I don't. It looked like it was a party store.
That sounds right. I got no problem with that.
This was like a week ago, but I can hardly remember. I think it was I think I saw costumes inside, and it was closed because everything's closed. But it looked like they were, those Halloween, costume party stores. It looked like it was that. I don't know. I don't know if it's a year-round thing or not.
Man, that's wild. But yeah, that book, it's crazy, and all the flood of memories. That's what everybody just keeps saying. It just, oh my God, I can't remember this and that. And I mean, I don't know how many times you played there, but I've seen you there tons of times.
Yeah, because, like I said, I used to work there too. So being in a band with Dom was always there also. So we always had our gear in the back, and it was just like, a band canceled or something. So we just play, or there's nothing happening tonight. Like we just played,
What a great way to cut your teeth, though.
Yeah. I think I did actually cut my teeth one of those nights.
Probably. You have one of my most, favorite stage moves everywhere. Because back then, well, first of all, you hardly ever stayed on stage. That's number one. But number two is,
Yeah.
I remember because you would always kind of shuffle backwards while you're playing and you're singing and you're rah, 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 and you'd always push people's tables with your ass. I
Oh
remember
yeah.
that so clearly, man. I don't know how many drinks you knocked over, but I was trying to catch them all.
Oh my God. I was such a jerk. Like it was just like if you didn't have a guitar in your hand or a microphone and you did that stuff, you'd get kicked out. But because you had a guitar and a microphone, you'd be like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, you know what I mean?
That's
You're
it. That's
allowed
why
to
we
do
just got to call our guitars just the free pass, you know?
you're allowed to do things. You know, that's what I love about you're allowed to do things that if you weren't, and people will come and pay to see it. And then, like, you know, instead of like you paying to go to a club and then acting like that and then getting kicked out, you could actually maybe make a bit of money and be a total jerk.
Exactly. And then spend the money the same night, right?
Just laugh and laugh and laugh. Yeah, there was good times. Yeah.
But that's one of the great things about you. It's like you're saying laugh and laugh and laugh, but I mean, you are a feel good music kind of guy. You know what I mean? Like you're always like expressive outwards, not necessarily inwards. Like, you know, different artists, some go in, some go out. I always saw you as somebody pushing out and like throwing the good time at the people. And for, you know, if anybody looks like they're not really 100% into it, well, you made sure they were.
Well, yeah. I like having a good time. You know, you're there with people, and what else are you gonna do? You're gonna sit and you know, but I do like sitting and moping too.
Absolutely.
And I do like, you know what I liked about this lockdown, because I like ballads and stuff like that too, and just playing acoustic, and I played shows like that, but I always feel before those shows, like, or at those shows even, that people are like, they came to the show to like scream. They didn't know it was going to be like this. So that's what I kind of like during the lockdown. I got to play a couple of these, you know, distance solo acoustic kind of shows, and everyone had to sit down and stuff like that. So those were kind of fun to do too. I like that stuff.
Well, for sure. That's really interesting thing, because like I often like people are like, oh, what's your band like? And I often say, well, we play Saturday night music and not Tuesday night music live, right? But on record, we always have a couple of the songs that might be considered Tuesday night music. But you're right that, you know, in that context, you know, for online stuff, maybe it is the time to pull out some Tuesday night music, you know?
Yeah.
That's crazy. But like you have these different sides to you for sure. And you've always impressed the hell out of me, because one thing I like right before we did this, look, I got to show you something I got right behind me here. Okay. Do you remember this vinyl?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, I just blasted side A on it, and which is awesome, because not only do you sing about girls, you also sing about monsters. I mean, that's perfect, you know.
Yeah,
one of my favorite subjects.
I've always loved monster songs. Yeah, I still love them, and girls, and I still love girls too. Yeah,
there you go. And girl monsters are even the best, right?
Hey, actually, I usually think about male monsters. I don't know what yeah.
You know, that's an interesting point. I don't think I said that, but I don't think I've ever thought of a woman monster or a girl monster. That's weird. I just realized that now. Fuck. Hey, girls, go show us some monster costumes. Impress us. And kick ass ones that are scary and make me have bad dreams and shit. But yeah, that vinyl, I've carried that vinyl around with me for I don't know how many years. And every once in a while I throw it on. Which gets to the point that I was talking about. One thing that I love about your recordings is how real it sounds. You know what I mean? Like if I put that on and close my eyes, you're basically playing in the living room production wise. Wow. It's amazing. It really blew me away hearing that again.
Well, it sounds like it was recorded in a living room. Yeah.
it does, but in the best possible way. Like I don't know who recorded.
Actually, some of that stuff probably was recorded in a living room. Yeah.
Well, did you do a lot of the recordings yourself back in the day?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, and I still do. And there hasn't been many times that I've actually gone into a studio. There was with Dom, we did one at a Hubcast, we did one in Peterborough in a studio, and then I recorded with some friends, and then, you know, years back, let's listen back, I don't really like the sound of it, but I like recording on my own. Yeah.
No, it's definitely interesting. Like You know, I understand that when you record on your own, you're chasing a sound. Sometimes it does help to have people around to kind of help you get there for sure. You know, but it's
Totally.
part of the curve and the process and the journey anyway. You know,
I like the home recording because it's just like, if you get an idea, you can just put it down like right away, you know, or something. I like that.
Record it while it's still magic.
Oh, I guess, or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. How did you learn to record? Like, I mean, what got you to even know how to record? Because not everybody can record themselves. You know, did you have somebody show you around a bit, or?
Everyone can record themselves. You just have to press record on the thing.
Well,
But,
nowadays, yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's probably easier now than when back then. Yeah. What did I get? I got a 4-track, and I just would record at home. Like, yeah.
That's wicked. But like, I love your sound because like there's always this spacey rockabilly side. You know, like when rockabilly gets monster style or surfy style, and I find like a lot of the same reverbs and stuff are on it, and I absolutely love the way you use them, man.
Oh, thanks.
I don't know if your guitar playing has changed that much since then or not, but I mean,
hopefully I've gotten a little bit better somehow, but I don't know. Yeah, yeah, probably hasn't changed much. I'm a horrible guitar player.
But what a recognizable sound.
Maybe it's very, like when I hear stuff that, if I hear another song that like, and I hear something, I'm like, oh, and it's a really bad guitar player, I'm like, wow, that's like something that I could play. Like, it makes me happy.
Yeah. I totally get it, man. Totally. But it's cool though, because when I talk about recognizable sounds, I often think like some of my favorite musicians aren't necessarily what somebody would, or who somebody would say is the best. But I mean, if I'm paying to see somebody live or listen to somebody, I want some personality in it. And you never lacked any personality.
Oh, thanks. I know what you mean though. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like people who can really sing and stuff like that kind of bore the shit out of me, and really play guitar or something like, like wow, that's great. Like it just bores the shit out of me. I love personality in music. Yeah.
Well, for sure. But
there's no point a bunch of things sounding the same. You should have like, oh, that's so and so, and that's so and so. Yeah, I like that too.
Well, it's funny. I was having a talk the other day with somebody who said like that, when you talk about either a singing style or a guitar style, but a lot of it is based off of our limitations as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody can do anything while they're doing everything, but they kind of lose what the original core style might have been.
I gotcha. Yeah. I think it's, yeah. I hear you.
But at the same time, of course, we develop and the journey continues, and maybe we get better at certain things, right?
Yeah, and it's okay. It's okay to grow and do different things, like but sometimes those limitations are kind of cool. Like they if you get creative with it, like you know what I mean. And yeah, I think it's cool.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of creativity, how many records have you done so far? Do you have any idea?
Yes, around 50. Not all full, not all full records though. 50, like some are, I put out a lot of 7 inches and EPs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not all full albums, but yeah, I remember I had to count kind of recently, and it was around 50 or something.
Shit, man. But it's crazy. I mean, just like, on the side of having to produce that much music and get it out, like that's a ton of freaking work. But also on the creative side, I mean, not that many people can write that many songs,
Yeah, I don't know if they can or not, but I like to stay busy, and I like collaborating with people too, and that can get you in a different headspace or something, and then you go back to your other thing, and it's just anything to kill bored. Like, just don't get bored with anything. Like, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
And if I record something and I like it, I want to put it out and move on to the next thing. I don't want to sit on it and be like, oh, I guess I'll put this out in 2 years or something. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know how some bands do that. Like they don't put anything out for like so long, and they're just sitting on these songs that they recorded like years ago, and they're like, all right, release time. I don't know how. That's just not. Some people can do it, I guess. I can't do that.
That's a great problem to have, because I do think that a lot of people kind of burn out creatively along the way, and then start relying on their back catalog, you know. But I mean, to be
I don't
able to do it
know.
like you say is just put it aside and move forward all the time. That's the trick, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it is, but it works. That works for me.
Yeah, man, does it ever too. And what the other thing I appreciate about it though is, like, I don't know if all your releases are out on vinyl, but I mean, you have a ton of vinyl that you
A
do.
lot of them are. Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, for the last little while, some of the stuff came out on CD too, but CDs nobody's really buying CD. Like everyone's digital downloading stuff. So if if you put something out, you might as well. I mean, I like records too, so it's always fun to have something out on record and be like, oh, here's this, I did this, like
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Was that like something from the start though? Like, in your first days, CDs were pretty big at that moment, I imagine. You know what I mean?
at
But
the
you always went the vinyl route before it was cool to.
uh I used to put out tapes, and then so moving up to a CD was like a big thing, and then CDs, like I said, I don't know, records are just so cool, like I don't know, and if you listen to records and stuff like that, and you're a musician, you want to make your own record, like, right, so
Absolutely, absolutely. But I totally agree with you, because like CDs for me are kind of in the middle. You know what I mean? Like if you're in a car, home, or whatever, the ease of digital music is kind of fun. You can find whatever you want and that kind of thing. But as far as a collectible goes, I'm not going to settle for something this big that sounds this big. Like having the vinyl in front and being able to feel it and stare blankly at it while you're listening to it. And I love that shit, man.
yeah.
Now, I don't know if a lot of people know this about you, but you do obviously a lot of solo shows, one man band style, but you also play with, like you're saying, collaborate with a lot of people and do a lot of band shows as well. Do you have a
Yeah.
preference from one style of show to the other?
uh Not so much. Yeah, it all depends what mood I'm in. Like if like I said, that's up like with collaborating, it like keeps it fresh. So like if I switch to doing band stuff, and then I go and do my one man band thing, it's like it's really totally different. Like and yeah, and then you do one thing for a while, and then you switch to the other thing, and going back and forth keeps it fresh for me. So I don't really have a super preference.
What are the main differences for you? I don't mean physically, because obviously it's a different physical thing, but like mindset. The little voice in your head while you're playing. Do you notice a big difference in that when you're playing solo versus with other people?
Well, it's different. Yeah, when you're playing solo, it's just all up to you, and you know, so that's the biggest thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Being having others there and being able to depend on them to get it going. It's a different. Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
That makes total sense. I was asking because, like, there's part of me, like, I did one of these internet live video solo shows not too long ago. And I did notice one thing. Like, at first I was kind of nervous because it's not something I do a lot, right? But I did notice there's a certain freedom in playing solo as well, that I kind of enjoy that end of it.
Yeah, you're just you stop playing, the music's over. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
But
you're in
I think
complete.
the not having to, necessarily follow an arrangement, or or
Mhm.
even jumping from one song to another song and then maybe back to the original song, all these types of freedoms.
Yep, totally.
But like when you do your solo shows, you're also playing other instruments as well. You're playing drums.
Right. Yeah, yeah. The one man band stuff. So I mean, it's the same thing. It's just a little more, yeah, a little more beefy, whatever.
Yeah. But do you find it hard, like just like even dexterity wise or coordination wise, I guess is the better word, like, to play drums and guitar and sing at the same time? I'm not even sure if you do other instruments as well.
Now, I do. I pick different songs to play with, either if I'm doing it solo or if I'm doing it playing with bands. I can, you know. So that's how I work it.
Yeah, no, it's really cool, and it's really cool. Like I'm happy that I've seen some of your journey. You know, I mean, like when we talk about who you were playing at the Jailhouse versus who you are playing at Club Soda. You know what I mean?
Okay.
No, but I mean, like, obviously it's similar, but I mean, it doesn't compare. Like you became, you know, well known. People recognize your music. Your energy that you portray from the show is next to, you know, it's absolutely fantastic. You know.
Oh, thanks.
Oh yeah, man. I
I'm
love
not.
it.
I'm
I've been
not
a
just.
fan forever.
I'm not just rubbing my butt against the
No, exactly.
table, making dollar
Probably made some
bills.
great. That's it, man. So, you know, just slide the dollar right down there in the
I
crack.
remember.
You know?
I remember back in the. I remember one time, like this guy was on this older guy. He was on his chair, and I just tipped his chair over, and I was like, oh, and I just let him drop, like really horrible things, like. But it was still funny, like, you know. I don't know.
Well, absolutely, man. I mean, it's rock and roll. You
It
know,
was a different
it's like,
time. It was a different time. Yeah.
it really was. It really was. Like, you know, I'm so happy too, though, that we got to do all these shows where not everybody's filming every 5 seconds of everything with their telephones. You know what I mean? Because it was a different time.
Yeah. You're right.
You know, like it's nice to, you know, to be able to do things and not, you know, just know mentally that you're working and it's part of your journey. You know, not everything was meant to be filmed. And I find these days it's like, you know, somebody can start a career young, everything's filmed right away, and it's kind of like pigeonhole. That's what that person is, you know?
Okay. Yeah. Or just for the actual sake of enjoyment. I don't know. There should be allowed like just one person to film stuff during a show.
Right?
You can document it. Take some. Are you good taking pictures? Okay, you take pictures. You know.
That's the way. Then all those awful recordings would just disappear.
You know. It's like like sitting in front of a speaker, like.
There's so much of that.
You know. I don't know. Yeah.
It's wild, man. I like the stash. The stash is looking good, bro. How have you been doing, like, through COVID and all this? So, like, have you, like, obviously you're a touring musician. You make your money playing music and stuff. Like, how are you holding in there?
Yeah, like I mean, not working sucks, whatever. But being able to have spent this much time at home has been great. Like, you know, I got kids, you know, so it's great being at home. And it's great. I stay busy, like with recording and stuff like that, like, you know, writing songs and stuff like that. And we'll see how long we're out of work for. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Did you do any of those internet shows that everybody seems to be doing? You know, like live streaming shows.
I did some live streams. Yeah.
Yeah. How'd you feel about it?
Some were fun. I did a bunch like solo, like at home, and then I did one where, like, when we were allowed to go out again, I did some with some friends, and it was so much fun playing with people that I was like, oh, I don't want to play the alone ones at home anymore. Like, you know, so
Yeah.
those are pretty spare, and it's a different, you know, it's a different thing than obviously playing an actual show in a club and people are out there, like, you know. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. I might do more. You know what I did? You know what I did the other day, like a couple weeks ago or something, maybe it was more than that. And I was out, I took my son for breakfast before dropping him off at daycare, and then and I get out to my car and there's a parking ticket on it, and I'm like, crap. I'm like, that's the last thing I need during, you know, not even working, is a freaking parking ticket. I'm like, I'm driving home, grumbling to myself, and I'm like, hey, I'll go home and do a live stream, try to raise some ticket money, like, you know what I mean, you know.
Yeah, man.
But instead of playing music, I was gonna cut my hair anyways, but I just figured I'll live stream myself cutting my hair, you know. And I did, and I like shave my head, and I made more doing shaving my head than I did playing music during these live streams. So I don't know what, you know.
People are funny. I freaking love it though. But it's true. It's say like I have friends in a band called the Slackers. I don't know if you know the Slackers, and they regularly, did all these internet shows and stuff too. But after a while, I think they broke it up, and one member would do something, then the next, because it ended up being so long now. It's like you want to start doing different things. So one of their horn players, he's in the kitchen cooking and stuff and doing his live show and playing a horn line here and there. But people are just finding stuff to do.
I think people just want to hang out.
Well, that's it, right? It's
like,
so
okay,
true.
What are you doing? Like, yeah.
I find as time's been going on, it's like, we have our highs and lows there, but man, I'm due to see some friends. That's for sure. It's fucking great to see your face, man.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Dom and me and you and Journeys, do you remember the time we went to Toronto?
Yes, I do. Shit. I've told that story so many times, man.
Oh my God. It was a
horrible story.
Man, should we talk about that or no?
Absolutely.
That's
yeah, because I really, no, it's not old news. I've never shared this on the podcast, but I want to hear your version of it and see how it evolved in my head.
Okay. So we played, I forget where was it not the Cameron House. I forget where we played.
Yes, Cameron House. That's right.
It was the Cameron House. Okay.
Yeah.
So at the Cameron House, we did the show and it was great. It was Transylvania 500, who were amazing, and then at the end of the night, I was so hungry, like usual after the show. I'm like, oh, I gotta eat, like so I took off. And I went to get food, and then I come back to the venue, and everybody's gone. Everybody's gone. Okay, like we were hanging with the Toronto folks and us, the Montreal folks, and the Montreal folks thought I was with the Toronto folks going out somewhere, and the Toronto folks thought I was with the Montreal folks, and everybody just fucking left. So I'm there, and I'm like, well, I guess they'll be back soon or something, like and the van is still parked outside, and I'm like, oh, your van, by the way.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm like, they'll be back soon. Okay, so I'm hanging around, and it was like November, I think, and it was pretty cold. It was like colder than what I was dressed for, prepared. And anyways, and then whatever the time in Toronto, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, the bars close, and there's nobody, and I'm just there like, okay, blah blah blah, and then I'm like freezing my butt outside. I went with, they got the hot dog guys outside there all night. I hung around them and like got warm with their, hot dog fire. And, and I remember there was like a entranceway to someone's apartments, like I just opened the door and I like sat on their stairs for like hours, just staring at the van. Like, are they coming back? Like, then I go back out to the hot dog guy and like warm up a bit. And then like 8 o'clock rolls around and there's nobody there yet. And I've been out all night.
And the van's not there anymore, right?
No. The van is still there. I bought a coffee and stayed in the coffee shop for like 5 hours or whatever, and it's 8 o'clock now. So some stores are opening up again, so I go into this magazine store right. I think it was near the Horseshoe. Or no, it was further out. And anyways, and I go in this magazine store and I'm looking at magazines for like 5 minutes and I come back out and the van is gone.
That's what.
And I'm like, I missed him. In the 5 minutes, I took my eyes off. I missed him. Oh man. And then I'm like, I'm still around the area where the van is because I don't know where else to go. This is before cell phones and all that stuff. Or at least before cell phones for me. And around noon, Dom comes strolling up and he's just like, hey man, what's up? And I'm like, hey man, let me tell you about my night. Hey man? And I'm telling him and I'm like, where's the van? I'm like, Kirsten, like he left already and like stuff. And then we're like, so both of us are now waiting and we're like, oh, and then you come strolling up finally and it's like, hey guys, and we're like, hey guy, and we're like, where'd you go? And he's like, oh, whatever, blah blah blah. You tell us everything, and then we're like, let's just hop in a van and go. And we're like, the van is gone. And then you're like, I didn't move the van. And then we find out that it was in a towing spot. So the van got towed at 8 a.m. whenever. That's why I saw it leave like the first thing.
Right.
So so after that hellish night of like staying out and like, I want to sleep and like just like hell, I finally get together with you guys and we couldn't leave yet. We had to track down the van. And we finally found it. It was at some tow yard or something, and then we finally got out of there like hours
And
later.
I remember the morning because I had an amazing night.
I bet you did. I bet
just the best night that night.
I hope it was. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And so I'm coming back all happy the next day, you know? And I just remember you looked like a wet puppy dog, and I felt so bad.
Oh, man.
Fucking awful. But you're right. We didn't have cell phones back then, you know?
No, none of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, man. But and I remember because shit, man, I remember it like yesterday. I remember the hot dog vending cart was there, you know, and you and Dom, but Dom didn't look so bad. You, on the other hand, though, just
because he went out somewhere and he went out with some whoever he went out with, and then he goes up with a smile on his face, and I'm just there like
two smiley boys and one wet dog.
Serves me right. Serves me right though to take off and go eating unannounced or whatever.
But because like we thought you went to see a friend or something too.
Exactly. You weren't worried about me. Yeah, exactly. I was in your mind. I was having a ball. Yeah.
But I do remember that it took us forever to find the van because they supposedly like the place where like the pound, I guess, was like almost outside of Toronto.
Yeah, it was a far thing.
Fucking crazy.
God.
I'm impressed with your memory, though. That's pretty much how I remember it. You know, my story's a bit different, you know. But I just remember
scarred. It's scarred. It's scarred, dude. It's right in there.
I just remember you would look so cold. Shit. But that's
it was November,
roll, you know.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah,
man. Yeah, we had stupid nights. Yeah.
Well, but great stupid stories to tell, because if you go along the theory that basically you only live to collect all these stories to be able to tell right before you die, right?
That's funny, yeah.
But yeah, man, it's funny. I was talking to one of my my buddies that I work with, and he's a pretty straight guy, you know what I mean? And love him dearly, don't get me wrong, but it comes from a different background. And he was saying how, you know, in the rock and roll scene, you know, it's crazy because so many people, you know, drink or do drugs or have reckless sex and all that kind of thing, you know? I'm like, well, you know, they don't say, you know, you can't have a whole scene built on sex, drugs, and rock and roll and have it be safe. Yeah, you know what I mean? And or not expect fucked up things to happen. If everybody's drunk and on drugs and having sex, well, fucked up shit is gonna happen. It kind of comes with the territory.
Yeah. Until they invented phones, then every backstage was just every band member staring at their phone, like
right. And then social media, so that everybody's scared to be, you know, have pictures taken with their friends that they make. Sorry. You've been recording throughout COVID, though. Do you have releases like coming up? Is that what's going on, or?
I just always like to record, like I said, I record at home, so it's whenever we get a song, let's just record it, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wait, just do it. And I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like during this COVID thing, like I had actual, you know, records come out that were planned to be coming out, you know, end of March, April kind of thing, and so they came out during this thing, like, you know, this lockdown or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so those stuffs are already out. Like I said, I've moved on, and like I still want to promote them one day when I, you know, play some shows and try to sell some of those records. But there's just so many songs building up that it's just like, yeah, just keep recording, and I don't know, probably put it on Bandcamp or you know, something like that. Like
who are you, like, are you using or working with record labels when you're releasing your vinyls?
Yeah.
What label are you working with now?
I mainly work with one called Goner Records. They've been putting out my full lengths, and for when it comes to like 7 inches and like singles like that, I work with a lot of different labels. Like this one in Spain called Sleazy, another one in Spain, Ghost Highway, one in California called Pig Baby, like High Tide, Swell Tune, like a lot of different labels in the U.S. and Europe kind of thing.
Well, that's it, because you play in U.S. and Europe regularly as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. Haven't played Europe so much lately, but I used to play there a lot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But like with the U.S., like I don't know if you want to get into it or anything like that, and you can say no. But like you play there a lot now,
Yeah.
right? But were you? 'Cause I say that because I've been having trouble with the border on and off over the last couple of years as well.
Really?
Like, have you had border troubles at all?
I have. Do you know I have, or are you just asking? Like,
Well, no,
you know I have, right?
Well, I think I know. Like, my memory's a little.
By
Not
the
what it used to
way,
be.
have you ever gotten banned from the state? Yeah. Yeah, I was.
Oh, okay,
I got.
because I couldn't remember exactly, to tell you the truth. I just remember that
Okay.
I'm having trouble at the border. I remember you had a story at the border at one point.
Yeah.
Hey, cheers, by the way.
Cheers to you. I want to go get a drink. Can I get a
Yeah.
drink? Really
What do you
quick?
do? Yeah, go get a drink.
I'll be 5 seconds. Okay.
No problem. I'm gonna hang out with people here and drink.
I'm gonna drink with a birthday boy.
See, I'm really happy because my brother, my best friend Stu, gave me this flask with my name engraved in it. I'm like, what a present! And this, I can't remember the name of it, but it's an
Holy shit.
amazing.
Dropped it.
That sounds about right. We're at a show again. I love it.
I better wait a second to open that up. Oh man.
Right? Oh man. But yeah, it looks.
Look out.
Stu gave.
These are
Stu
the
gave me
headphones I recorded with, by the way.
this. Nice. That looks
God,
about
they don't
right.
even fit because they're broken. They don't even doesn't even fit on my ear. See my ear?
Shit, yeah, man. You gotta. That's why you're mixing some extra low end into there.
Yeah. That's funny.
Shit. What are you
Oh,
drinking
man.
there? What you got going on?
I got gross.
Ooh, nice.
I got a gross that is exploding all over the place here because I just dropped it.
That's it. Making messes. I love it.
Yeah.
Some of my.
By the way,
best...
I don't have my kids today, just in case you're wondering.
Daddy on the loose, COVID
Daddy's
style.
spilling beer all over the table. Like, no.
Yeah, it's funny. My family basically just knows that's how it goes, and they gave up even talking about it. Yeah, I was just telling the people while you're away, Stu gave me this when he got married. It's a flask with my name engraved on it.
That is sweet.
Yeah, he would love to see you too.
How's he doing?
Stu,
Is he in Van Cleek?
Yeah, he bought a house down there. He's doing great, man. He's been playing
That's
a lot
awesome.
of music and trying different he's been going instrument crazy, buying all kinds of instruments and doing recordings and stuff, whether it's guitar, bass, drums, singing, a whole bunch of stuff. And he's keeping busy. He's doing well.
That's great. Say hi. Hi, Stu. I'll just say hi. What, you better watch this,
Hey, Derek, say hi from you, would you?
if you made it all the way through here, Stu, you a beer.
Hey, here's a real, like, almost like interview style question for you. You have a particular style of music that's extremely, I'm not going to say defined, but you definitely have your own sound. Before you started playing music, okay, what did you hear? Like, what got you going in this sonic direction?
I liked a lot of that stuff early on, 50s kind of rock and roll and rockabilly. It was a friend of mine in kindergarten or grade one, and his he had an older. It was like he was like my best friend, and he had an older brother who liked that kind of stuff, and he got us into that stuff, and so yeah, I've always liked that kind of stuff. I don't know, I just like it. And then when I got older, I would, from that genre, I knew like a lot of the popular guys, Gene Vincent, Eddie Cochran, and stuff like that. But getting older and digging more into it and hearing a lot of the more obscure stuff, there's a lot of crazy records that I think are crazier than the records today. And they were because they were making it up as they went along. There was no, now it's almost like there's a rule book to, a certain genre or something, like, you know what I mean? And when it's happening, when it's just exploding, like they don't know what the hell is going on. So they're just like, how's this sound? And it's great. And that's so, yeah, yeah, that's what's got me going. It keeps me going. I guess.
Did people in your family or household play at all, or were you the only one?
They didn't play music. No, no. I was just talking about this with a friend of mine last night. How like when my family used to go on like weekend trips, we go to Plattsburgh or like something. We had this Conway Twitty tape in the car, and we'd all sing along to it. It was
Amazing.
crazy. Yeah. So that probably got like a country bug in me early or something, or Conway Twitty's.
Yeah. That's cool because like yeah, I always when I think of you like I'm thinking of somebody who's naturally musical, not scholastically musical, because you can always tell like somebody that writes so many songs. I mean, you have a natural musicality just going on in your head. You're always something new, and try and like find out where did that come from, like
Right.
Sometimes it could be even another activity that is similar in the sense of always having to do something, and it kind of translates to music. It could be a lot of different things, but it's like, where did you get that from, man? That accent in your head.
I think a lot of people have different skills, and they're good at this and they're good at that, or they I have no skills at all. And the only thing I like doing is playing music and making up songs, like. So maybe that's it. I have nothing else taking up my time. But like, oh, I gotta work on the house this weekend and build a fucking blah blah blah. You like a new deck or something. Like, no, that's not me.
You just said the key to something, I think, man. I have to like. I find people today aren't getting bored enough. Like, what I mean? Like there's everything's a screen in front of them, a movie, They put on a DVD, Netflix, whatever. Everything's so easily accessible that people aren't getting bored. And I find a lot of creativity comes through being bored, and you create something.
Yeah, 100%. I think so too. Because
you're
just distracted all the time. It's like, well,
that's it. Then you're just another zombie in front of a screen.
Pretty much,
Hey, there's a song right there we just wrote, see?
Zombie in a screen.
Yeah, man.
Just in time for Halloween, zombie in a screen. You know what I mean?
Right? Oh, man, I don't know if you heard that beep. I'm cooking, while I'm talking to you, I'm cooking jerk chicken right now.
Oh, man.
And, oh, yeah, it smells so good in here right now.
I just, during this lockdown, I became a vegetarian.
What?
How crazy is that? Me? Yeah.
What a time to do that.
Yeah.
What about now? You still vegetarian?
Still vegetarian. I mean, I've had
look
fish.
here.
Oh shit! Oh man! No, you say you say jerk. I'm like all over it. I love that spicy kick.
Well, hey man, jerk vegetables amazing as well, right? Jerk carrots, so good. Sorry, I had to turn that off. Oh, it smells so great. What I was going to say was, because how you're working with these labels in different countries, even, which is I think is pretty fucking amazing, honestly. Like just being influenced also from working from people that come from very far away. But what have been some of your favorite places to play? Like you used to go to Europe a lot, you go to the States a lot, Canada, obviously.
Yeah. You know what? I think I went to Europe so many times I was like really taking it for granted. Because I'd be, in Paris, anywhere, all these places, and it's just like, meh, like, again, like, or like not totally that feeling. Of course, I'd be like, oh, this is great, but not appreciating it fully, like.
Yeah.
Now, when I stopped going for a while, like I think back and I'm like, oh man, some of those places were just unbelievable, like,
Yeah.
Italy, I love so much. God, all these beautiful places, and and just from not being able to travel now, what I miss, even just from not just the town itself, but just the traveling, like driving around Quebec, like going to all these places up north or something. Like just the drives are so gorgeous that I miss them.
I think it's one of the things I miss the most about it too. It's not necessarily just the show, but the voyage, being on the road, that feeling.
Yeah. Being in a van that isn't in a tow yard.
You're right.
Like, hey, we're actually in the van. This is great. Like, you know, like
that amazing feeling of being in a van that you think might die any minute.
that's
What
not
a
a
great
great
feeling.
feeling. Yeah,
Fuck,
yeah.
I know, man.
Yeah.
Shit, in the
Being
middle,
out of
but
gas
fuck.
and just like, am I gonna find a gas station? The light's been on for half an hour.
I was talking about this the other day. I think every time that I buy a vehicle, I try to run out of gas once on purpose, but near a gas station. You know why, right? Because that's where you want to know where the real gas line is. Because you know it goes lower than empty, right?
Oh my god. Well, yeah. Yeah, I think in my head always there's like I gotta when I'm on the highway, like I got a half hour. I got a half hour. Like, you know, like
Yeah, man. So
and
many
then
times.
and
Like
then
this.
and then and then when you waste you're like, oh, you see a sign for gas and you turn off and it's closed and you're like, fuck, I just wasted all that gas like turning off to come here. Like
It's so true, man. They've got to have laws about that. When it says, okay, there's gas station at the next exit, but then you get there and you realize it's like another 15 kilometers
just
away.
yeah. Oh god. That's the
Fuck,
worst.
it's awful, man.
As
It's
soon as
happened
this-
to us.
gas station may not be right at the exit. Yeah, I've done that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe
I remember
13 miles in. Yeah.
There's this one time, it was, a type thing where like, oh, should we stop this gas station? No, we'll wait for the next one, right? And then you show up and it's closed. And by at this, it's a Sunday because out west in BC and stuff like that, a lot of gas stations don't open on Sundays. What the fuck is that?
Gas stations in BC on Sundays?
Yeah, in some places, especially up in the mountains where they
Oh
don't
my
get as much
God.
traffic. It happened to us that one gas station was closed and we're on fumes at this point. Like we're not making another kilometer, right? But
Oh my
right
God.
beside was a police station. But the police station was closed as well. And they had a
Wow.
phone saying in case
You know what you do
almost
then? You know what you do then?
I got
You
lots
rob
of
the gas
ideas.
station. Yeah.
Right? Man, but it was funny at this police station, they even had a phone by the front door that says if it's an emergency, pick up the phone and press dial. It wasn't a number, you just press dial, right? So we did this, and then a sleepy police officer answers the phone. Yeah, you could hear him basically scratching his balls. And then he's like, what's up? And like, we're out of gas and the gas station that's beside your police station is closed and we can't go any farther. And he goes, all right, give me a minute. Call me back in 5 minutes. Like, all right. So we hang up. We don't really understand what he's doing, right? Apparently this is not.
That's like him pressing snooze.
Right, exactly. But apparently this isn't the first time this happened. So what he was doing, we call back in 5 minutes. He goes, okay, talk to the hotel people that have the gas station. They'll charge you $20 to turn on the gas pumps. Yeah. But they'll get you gas and you'll be good to go. And so, then we see a person kind of walk out to the pump, switch it all on, had to tip him $20, which at that point we were happy to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're like, I don't have to suck his dick. Like, wow,
that's
awesome.
it. Rock, paper, scissors. Who's got to take it for the team?
Yeah. I remember one time going through the park. You ever gone to like Rouyn-Noranda?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the park there. There's a couple hours, I think, or a good stretch where there's nothing. Especially at night. And it was just before New Year's, so it was pretty cold. It was really cold out, and the light went off. Maybe as soon as we're going through, and it's like. There'll be something soon, and man, remember what I thought about like a half hour? It was like over a half hour, and my friend beside me is like, "Dude, we're gonna die. We're gonna freeze out here and die." And I'm just like, "No, we're gonna find something, man. We're gonna find something." He's like, "We're gonna die," And then, man, we just as I don't know what 45 minutes or something. We finally get out of the park, and there's that first station, but it wasn't open yet. But there was a guy there, and he opened up everything a little early for us because we were stuck. Yeah, so yeah.
It's so amazing though on the road, like so many people that help you out though. I mean that's a thing not everybody talks about, but like so many bands on the road would not have gotten to shows without help from people they've met along the way in all these different situations.
Yep. Yeah. That's a really special thing.
It really is. Like in Europe, one thing I love is a lot of the venues actually have band rooms, right, with beds in them and stuff, and they're cooking you these amazing meals, and there's always somebody hosting the
So
band.
that time I couldn't go to the state. Like, I think it's almost better that we get to travel and especially in Canada, like touring across Canada as your first tour or like something like, wow.
Yeah.
And then you go to the States, and then it's a little more like tick, 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 like a little. It's not like driving across the prairies or like whatever for a fucking day and like being like, I didn't see anything. And then when you go to Europe, it's like, oh my God, you're gonna feed me and put me up for the night and give me all these beers and like actually pay me? Like, it's like crazy. So it's kind of like going like this, where like I figure if you're like a European band, it would kind of be going like this to come here. I don't know.
It's so true. And doesn't every single band go on about it? The first, like, let's say you did 10 Canadian tours, and then finally you do your first European tour, and you're like, what the fuck? And you're respected, and people like you,
Yeah.
It's crazy, the difference. And just how musicians are viewed, I find.
Yeah.
You rolling a spliff over
I don't
there,
know about. I am. Yeah. I may as well.
That's it. Yeah, man. Well, there's a lot of spliff smoking on this show.
Okay. What was I saying?
Well, Europe, being fed, having a place to sleep, a host.
Yeah.
But like when you say you went to Europe a lot, you've been to like a lot of countries there?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. I mean, you could drive through Canada, or not forget Canada, just Quebec, and cross 4 or 5 countries.
Yeah. It's a lot more compacted. When I first started, when I was booking my own stuff out there, though, I would book it like, I play here, and I was taking the train. I was by myself taking the train. I'd play here, then I'd play here the next night, and then I'd play here the next night, and then there, and it was just like traveling, like very badly booked because I thought, it's all so close together, a couple hours or something, like, but it was like 13 hours, and then it was very badly booked. Yeah.
But it's funny though. We did one tour with a band called The Faintest Idea out of England, and they're like, "Oh man, it's gonna be a long drive tomorrow, so make sure to sleep well and everything." I think it's gonna be a 6-hour drive. Everybody in my band just started busting out laughing because we're so used to we're going to Toronto to wherever.
Yeah.
Another 10 or 11 hour a day.
That's amazing. What I love is the like maximum 2-3 hour drives in between.
Man, it's so fucking magical. It's like, long enough to enjoy it and call it a road trip, but you're not dead.
Yeah, you can sleep in.
Oh yeah.
Once you get on the road, you can take your time. Oh god, there's nothing worse than being like white knuckle rush, like just rushing it, like trying to like I gotta get there,
I don't know who books your Canadian tours, but the mistake that most like bookers that are kind of new to booking or whatever, it's like they don't take whether you're driving west or east into consideration either. Because if it's a long drive and you're heading east, but then you do the time changes as well, you're like fucking waking up at 6 a.m. after going to bed at 4 a.m, just hating your life from that drive. But then you finally make it to Thunder Bay.
Yeah. I had this one drive once that I had to do by myself. Cause like I always traveled a lot alone. And I left Winnipeg on a Sunday afternoon to get to Sudbury to play the Monday night.
Right.
So that's a 24-hour drive. And I did it all by myself. And I made it to Sudbury, and I show up, and there was not even a fucking poster for the show. And I was like, like it really killed. It really, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, man. I totally. Hey, I'm taking a leak while we do this.
Okay.
Yeah, brother. Hey, that's the fun thing about this podcast, man. Like anything fucking goes. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll go out and have a smoke while you're taking a leak.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna smoke one too. Is that sativa or indica?
I don't know. I think it's probably sativa, I guess.
Yeah. You know, that's one thing that's cool now, I find, with the SQDCs. You know, there are so many people back in the day, it's like, you know, oh, I'm going to smoke some weed. Weed is weed. You know what I mean? Whereas now it's like, what kind are you going to smoke? And they're all different and all that kind of thing, you know? It's definitely fun.
I do like sativa more, though.
I'm with you on that as well, especially like daytime smoking, and if I'm being creative or playing, you know, guitar at home or singing at home or whatever, I definitely go sativa.
Unless you just want to fall asleep. Yeah.
Well, that's it, you know. And then I'll hit some crazy indica and knock my ass the fuck out.
Yeah. It usually ends up with the same result, anyways. I'll usually just,
right. I love it, man.
How's your chicken coming?
Oh man, I just turned it off. So now it's just warm in the oven. Oh, it looks fucking amazing. I'm trying to be healthy, so I took the skin off. That's about as healthy as I'll get, right? Spicy. Woo. Big time spicy. One of the spiciest jerk chickens in Canada, as far as restaurants go. Did you ever go to Pat's in Toronto?
Wait, I got a plane going over me. Look, can you see it?
Oh shit, yeah. Where are you right now?
I live by the airport. Doorbell.
Right, eh? That's wild, man.
Yeah.
Nice fatty cones. I like that.
Man.
Yeah, man.
You'd love my mom's. My mom makes me hot sauce. She's from Trinidad, you know.
I was gonna ask you.
You would love this hot sauce.
Man, Trinidad gets real hot. I mean, spice-wise.
Yeah.
It's funny because, like, I don't find the Jamaican hot sauces to be the hottest at all. I think Trinidad is way hotter.
Really?
Or even Indians, like, you know, some of the matooks there.
Those are good. Yeah.
But there's so many. Yeah. But some of them are real hot.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite kind that you go to, like a regular? You know, what's your go-to hot sauce?
I have a few, I guess. I mean, you know what I really like are chili peppers, but like in the not crushed already. You know what I mean? When you get to crush them, they're nice and dry. Oh god, I love that. Those are spicy.
Absolutely. I always take the seeds out though. I find it's too much the next morning.
Yeah. Okay. Thai chilies. The first time I ever messed with those, though, I swear, I was so used to like going crazy with pepper that I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what Thai chilies were like. You know, like the little red ones. So I wasn't sure. So I made in one plate of spaghetti. I cut up 7 of these things, and and I put them in my plate in one plate, not a whole sauce, just one plate. I put 7 of these chilies, and it was insane. It was just insane, and so I learned to just put one of those.
Yeah,
and I'm good with that. Yeah.
I remember when we were living on Clark and Duluth. Okay, Stu and I were making some hot sauce, and we got dried Scotch bonnets. All right, with the seeds and everything in them, but they were dried, even hotter, right? And my buddy, my buddy Mike Vadan, he goes, "Oh, dude, I ate one and it wasn't really so bad." Me, the dumbass I am, believed him, and I took an entire dried Scotch bonnet, ate the whole thing, dude. No shit, I was literally hallucinating.
I bet there was plenty of shit. Okay, no.
Yeah, right. No, but seriously, like at one point, like I was hallucinating. I had trouble standing up. That pepper has never done that to me, right? And it wouldn't go away. I was doing everything. I was drinking the milk. I'm eating the bread, and it was kind of like a glow. I would take a sip, and then 2 seconds after, whoa, it's back. You know what I mean? It was so bad. And we're talking like 45 minutes later, I'm still not well. At one point, I'm like, I gotta get well. You know what I mean? But it took forever. That was the hottest thing I ever ate. You know, and it was fucked up, man.
Do you know? Did you know who King Khan is?
Yeah, I remember from the Jailhouse.
Right. So So I don't like these kind of hot sauces, but like, you know, the ones that are, I don't know, they probably still have them, but they're probably better now. But like back, I don't know how long, 10, 20 years ago, there was like those jackass sauce or kick you in the, you know, like, and they were like just kind of stupid names, but they were like insanely hot, but they didn't really have a total flavor to them. They were just hot for the sake of being hot.
Yeah,
Like they weren't,
Like mortal death.
I like flavorful spices, and so he had this one. It was called hot as shit sauce, and that was all it said on the white label. There was nothing, no ingredients. It was no picture. It was just a white label that said hot as shit sauce. And it was like 3 a.m. or something. I'm at his place, and I gotta make some. I made some ravioli or something, and I
ravioli,
something, something late at night in the microwave, and then and I go to grab this hot sauce, and I go to pour, and I pour it, and it pours. It's like a beer bottle, like it was just like blue, and it just went all over, all over the plate, and everyone in the room is just like backing up, like and I'm like, wow, I'll just mix it in. I'll mix it in. It'll be great. And I'm eating it, and it was like you're saying, like needles are coming out of my forehead, and then I'm like, but it's addictive too, because you're just like, I need another bite. I need, like, it's like crack. It's like, I need another bite. And it is like drugs maybe. And then not that I know what crack is like. And
I got you.
And then Arish is there, King Khan, and he's like, I gotta try some too. And he comes over and starts eating it with me, and we're both just like, and we're like, man, when we play a show, we should eat it. We should eat a whole bunch of this shit before, right before the show, and then go out and play. Like,
that's funny. Yeah. It's funny you're saying that. Ones that look like beer bottles. Check this guy out. It's pretty fucking psycho.
Oh,
it's a tequila one. But then you're right how they get crazy, like, Area 51, and I just love collecting hot sauces. I have all kinds of different ones. And, as much as I like the hot sauce, I like the culture around it too. And the art, like the artwork is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
They all have their style. I really like that a lot. Hey, I'm looking at the time, and my recording memory is about to give out.
Okay.
Brother, it's so amazing to see your face. And amazing, you know what? I would love to do this again at a future date as well. I could just hang out. We should cook some food, some vegetarian jerk or something together.
Okay, that sounds great. You can show me a recipe.
Man, love it. Don't ever change, brother. You're perfect.
Love it, and enjoy your meal, and happy birthday.
Thanks, man.
A pleasure. A real pleasure to be able to talk to you, especially on your birthday.
Love you, man. You stay cool.
You do. Just.
Boom! Kim and don't know shit.